all loot.
So, in a very long time ago endeavor,
In a galaxy far away.
the last few pieces were reunited into the puzzle box, reawakening its power, as well as the siege of the Shogunate's previous palace. And Pseudo took up the lightsaber and So, after invading the Shogunate's palace and finding in the war room where the empress of the palace had been for so long.
Alexis, can you pause for like a second? I can't hear him over you.
Sorry.
He's like trying to do his.
So,
go ahead.
On recap, everyone invaded the Shogunate's palace alongside with the Oni, though in a much more flaring style, flying in and then falling in unannounced, literally, as well as Kaida stomping the Shogunate into the floor in a literal fashion.
Hell yeah.
And finding the Empress along with the newly found Kuposhak Lich trying to perform some form of arcane ritual, which was immediately prevented by everyone in the group who had come to investigate and to find the pieces. Empress, not too pleased with the assault on her keep in the throne room, immediately ordered for the guard to try and dispatch everyone, which was immediately taken down, and she was heavily wounded by Paracelsus, bleeding before she phased through the wall to escape. Also, which during this combat, Yuno had managed to grab onto the Lich Kuposhak and restrain him with the arcane orb of energy, and causing him to have immense damage caused to his body and slowly fade from existence and burn out entirely. Going further down and investigating and finding that there was one loyal bodyguard to what seemed to be a princess, managed to retreat in time just before the party got further down and forewarned that somebody was coming to the rest of the guards of just before the war room that were relaxing in wine cellar / celebration room. Getting through there, managing to find out that the war room they were looking for was luckily on the higher floors after cleaning out many of the bedrooms and other notes that they had found of where Kuposhak had been residing above with the rest of the royalty. You managed to also find underneath the table from the few hints that you found, as well as speaking to the said bodyguard before she left in a more peaceful fashion from Paracelsus telepathy, that the only hint she gave with the war room's table had been the location of where she had been hiding all along. Once all the doors were closed and you opened up the table again to resume your pursuit of this Empress, you found your way down the long flights of stairs to see trails of blood going all the way down, and then finding her naked corpse and her scepter beside a bunch of smashed jugs of wine, as well as just where the trail of blood had stopped. You'd managed to loot the entire cavern of all the previous artifacts that were hers and are now in your possession. You found the previous armors of old heroes, the rings and weapons as well of the Shogunate's chosen champions. You managed to sell off most of the documents, books, and other art pieces and history to the people of the land as well. So they have been able to successfully preserve. The only piece of history that has not been fully sold yet is the unique electrum-printed coins with the full coin molds of the emperor himself, the shogunate, in which not many could confirm or deny whether or not these coins actually came into existence at one point. The fact that you have them is a extremely rare piece alone, as well as finding on a very lucky spy of the eye by Yuno that the bed of gems that this Empress had originally slept on for so long was also set inside a portable hole, in which that she managed to pick up the side of it, and you were all able to scoop up the rest of the bed of gems and everything else. Out of all those pieces, there was only one thing that seemed to be missing. You also found the entirety of the statue collection that the Tourmaline Turtle had respectively belonged to. Obviously, the Shogunate's more unique collection of pieces, and obviously very well known from history and use, and just in general been lost for a very long time until the day that you found them there. As well as there was a slight scare at the earlier entrance of that room of Paracelsus touching the orb unknowingly, as the golden orb of greed that had been passed down through legacy and in secret, briefly experiencing what it's like to be a pile of gold coins. Luckily managed to roll a wisdom check and figure out that if she at least got all the pieces together, she would at least have the entirety of Paracelsus' soul, which luckily also undid the curse that had separated Paracelsus into so many pieces before.
Jeez, I have missed a lot.
After which, everyone had made a brief reprieve to the back of the area, where Yuno had decided to complete the ritual she had retrieved from the Oni and bind herself to full immortality in being a lich, and fusing her soul to the box so it may never be lost, and that she can have a permanent contract with Orcus without true problem or issue, retaining her entirety of her body as well. Just the occasional arcane flow goes through her now, and the uniqueness of her body no longer having to breathe, and truly being closer and ascended even more so to her god. As well as before leaving the place after this ritual was completed in casting, Paracelsus had managed to spot there was a singular drop of blood near a realm portal that was in the back area of the rooms, and having a sneaking suspicion that the so-called Empress had not maybe entirely actually died, due to the simple fact that the one that they found at the front towards the stairs had been stark naked with no clothing whatsoever. In frustration, she managed to smash the portal, preventing anyone from ever returning or coming through that again, and which everyone immediately packed up what they could, decided to go and leave the way they came, being greeted briefly by what seemed like incompetent Oni soldiers, who immediately believed them when they said there's an orb down there that will make you immensely powerful, and they all ran down there to touch it.
I believe the wording we used was immensely rich.
Yeah, immensely rich. In which you pass by the prince, who is the son of the current Oni shogunate, who had been seemingly escorting what looked like a Oni and an insectoid-like woman combined, of equal height and measure. Obviously, many of the Oni of smaller size were the ones to go out and fish out whoever had been hiding in rooms that the prince could not squeeze into, because it would be degrading to do so as such a high noble. After which, everyone managed to escape where the Oni were crushing and destroying everything and paid no heed because they were focused on the undead. They managed to go back to the keep, which they had originally teleported out into before in the swamp that was close by, and spend the night to figure out what are the plans of the future and find the next current location, in which they were immediately brought by consciousness to the astral plane to meet the Lord of the astral skies, Gemini himself, or so self-proclaimed, as well as Gemini himself not speaking the entire time, but was greeted by his speaker before them and promised everything they could ever desire and wishes and anything that they could want. As well as Black, you were stunned and starstruck and amazed at this immense gargantuan demon And also this throne of stars that he sat upon was bewildering. You needed a moment to think of what you would possibly want in a wish before you could go and complete this. So at that time you were a little dazed.
Oh. So...
As well as Gemini can feel your will of what your wish would be and could fulfill that desire.
Radical. He could do it. He knows what I want,
Oh.
and I know what I want.
As after such, everyone had made their way to town. Everyone had put their collective goods together. Paracelsus immediately set out to enrich the town's history. After which everyone purchased everything, and Paracelsus got as much gold as she could acquire from the tradesmen. There was a attack in the hotel in the middle of the night. The previous assassin / collector had arrived unknowingly unbeknownst to anyone, and even to his own master, from what it seemed that he spoke of. Tatsuto was outside of Yuno's room, which Paracelsus cleverly set up a dimension door between the hall and the end to be able to watch and keep an eye on everyone, since she doesn't have to sleep, which had turned out to be extremely lucky in this fashion, where they were immediately able to catch this assassin before he could do anything of his desire and plans, and had been immediately squelched right then and there, and then he joined the box as well. At this point now, you know the current destination is the Black Circle Pits in the Underrealm / Underdark. Many of the people here call it the Underrealm from what the Oni and the spider women below have twisted it into. Not many
Spider-Woman.
have dared ventured into the Underrealm itself as a grotesque, twisted manifestation of nightmares and design and perverse experiments between many of the Oni, spider women, and other deities and daemons alike, leaving no room or love for anything above or anything such as humanoid, for that matter. Even the Oni are seemingly unwelcome, but only on temporarily bided time, for what most people know. And this is where it brings you now to the town near the royal family of the Themistril, which also Kaida, you had managed to get Magnus, but Hokaku is the ninja that you had previously charmed in your own ways. Seemingly tried to kill them, but after the meeting with Gemini, a strange force managed to prevent him from being assassinated by her right there in front of you, before she let him off to be in a more safer location until you can complete the rest of the contract and dealings with Gemini as well. And now you are currently in a hotel after Paracelsus has managed to sell most of the equipment. Everyone has been spending probably a large portion of time for the entirety of the day, coming back more closer to night after purchasing new equipment and selling other pieces and baubles they may have had themselves.
All right, then.
Cool.
That was a long-ass recap. I guess that was pretty appropriate for how long it had been.
True.
Yeah.
And also to catch
Hey.
other people up to speed.
I.e. me.
Good, so it's like closer to night now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we should wait until tomorrow to begin.
Do you think that innkeeper will let us stay there again after what happened?
I did pay for the repairs, so I don't think she'd worry too much, but I guess we should go ask. No, I'm gonna go walk over there.
So as you come in, you can see there's a slight amount of regret on her face, but she still smiles because you did pay for the damages. So she just smiles sort of meekly at first. It still gives you a polite bow. Are you going to continue to stay for a few more nights?
Just one more night.
I hope you understand if I keep the city guard close tonight.
I'm going to be honest, though. If something tries to come and kill us, I think the city guard will die first.
But at least maybe we'll hear the noise and wake up so we can go outside the inn to kill them.
She looks almost terrified at that sentence, but it's like, yes, of course.
Yunu just said it very like emotionless and very cold, like matter of factly.
She's like, if you need anything, please just let me know. I'll be more than happy to get it for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same rooms as before, and we managed to fix the sir's door. And she points to Pseudo.
My door.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think there's too many people left on the list that'll try to kill us anyway tonight, so you shouldn't worry about it too much.
There's a whole list. Grief.
Well,
Big old
have you seen our list of enemies? I unroll it and it hits the ground comedically and rolls for like 10 feet.
There's a laugh track that plays that we can't quite locate the source of.
The slap bass begins to play from Noah.
does 2 circles around the town and then finally comes back to your feet with the starting line of Oni.
I don't think the Oni are our direct enemies anymore.
That's true. So you can finally cross that bottom one off the list.
Yeah. Yeah, we're slowly crossing names off, but I still feel that we could be attacked.
It's true.
Yeah?
But I will stay up as I did last night.
As soon as everybody leaves the hallway, I'm just gonna go portal into the wall.
So you portal into the wall. Peeps is immediately trying to get into Bag of Gold again.
I take out some gold and let him eat that.
Alright.
I don't want him in the dimensional bag eating my remaining 700 gold. We might need that for something.
Yeah, he looks almost stunned for a moment, and there's so much more less gold now than there was previously.
So much.
Oh, English good? Yeah. Oh,
Don't worry, Josh. I understand this English goodness.
it's great. So, the night carries on. The most you see is just the typical chambermaids and other servers there going through the hotel, getting a few other bottles of sake and other food items for the other guests that are still nearby. Even though
That's good, they still have guests.
even though there's not as many as before, you can see there's still some stubborn customers who obviously like giving their patronage to here, even after the endeavor and splatters of black blood against the wall.
I mean, hey, they could say that's ink.
It's true. You don't really know what they told the guests, but you could tell they probably don't know much, considering it's everyone seems very happy and cheery for the time being.
I'd like to do a ritual.
All right. What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast sending. So within 500 miles, I'm gonna send a message to Ku Poshak.
Just give me a moment, guys.
That's
The absolute mad woman.
Oh.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Is he even revived yet?
Well, fuck. I don't know. That's kind of.
Because it's what, like 2d6 days or something like that?
No, it's a D6 plus 1.
Yeah, we haven't even hit the upper limit of that yet. It's been like 3 days.
Well, if he's alive, he gets it. If he's not, whatever.
I'm sure his immortal spirit can still receive it. He's not technically dead.
It
so.
is magic, so maybe he's inside his phylactery and gets like a voicemail in there.
He's like lounging in a chair while his body regenerates. You've got one message.
Oh my god. Alright, so you if I recall the sending message, you could get like one reply back, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
They can reply in the same duration of words.
Yeah, 25 words.
Alright. You immediately get in reply. One finger bone, 2 teeth. Who's there?
Okay.
And that's the message you get.
Not as satisfying, but okay.
Oh. Oh my god.
I mean, sometimes you get 1 finger bone and 2 teeth. You know what I mean?
So, that as the night continues on, unless anyone else has something else they'd wish to do.
I'm just gonna make a few potions while I have some downtime.
Alright. In the middle of the night, Kaida, you get a love letter sent to you from Magnus, profusing his love to you, and that he...
Oh, good.
And
Instant message?
I was gonna say, man, the delivery service in this world is top notch.
oh, he is...
Could even beat me kicking open the door to kill them.
At the same time, it's rather humorous because it's almost like if somebody was starry-eyed in front of you. The way he writes this is completely obsessed with you and saying how nobody would keep you from him if you were to go missing.
Am I not technically missing?
Yeah. Well, right now he knows exactly where you are.
Oh god.
Well,
Inside
clearly,
my dream.
this.
So, as the morning starts to break, you can see there's the typical regiment of the staff bringing it all the food to all the different rooms, being very quiet, not to wake many of the customers that are there, and just leaving the early morning breakfasts. Paracelsus, you see that there is a note on the tray that's being brought to your room.
As soon as it's left out in front of my door before she's even left, I'll just open up the hole in the wall.
After that, you just see like her shocked expression, like, "Oh, excuse me," and she's just like bowing profusely and like starts to hurry off extremely fast as Peeps kind of comes waltzing out with you.
She's like, holy shit, the robot came out of the wall.
That's terrifying.
Oh, sorry. Hello, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Alright, I'll go read the note.
Alright.
So what was that?
So on the note, you see it's stamped almost like nobility, but the only real royal family that you know of in the area is the Themstrel family. The note reads is that it's basically somebody had caught wind of your find and would be interested in buying it from you. He gives a set price of 50,000 gold for the entirety of the coins in the mold.
Yeah, sure, I don't have any other buyers.
It's the listing, the delivery area that he would like you to bring it is down by the docks as well.
There's docks in this town? I thought we were in the middle of a forest.
It was on the forest to the path. There's a trade post with the docks nearby.
Oh, yeah.
This is the section of forest that manages to crest just near the very tip where the forest of spirits and the small ocean crevice between the lands go, separating Minkai just a little bit.
Okay. Does he give a set time?
There is no set time. It's obviously he just hopes that the message would have gotten to you and was most likely be waiting for you.
Yeah, I mean, I see everybody else is still asleep. I might as well just go get this done.
Alright. So you head out. You could see all the early risers in this. You could smell the bakeries are actually starting up. And if you could appreciate smells, you could smell all the fresh baked bread and other different mixtures of smells that would hit your nose along this coast.
Yeah.
Peeps is just casually walking beside you this time. He hasn't climbed up. He's just enjoying stretching his gears.
How well behaved is Peeps? Does he like sniff people's coin pouches?
You do see the occasional swat at a very heavy coin bag.
Oh shit! The golden dragon wants my money. That dragon could probably shake down a common person pretty easily.
Oh, with his thunder breath alone. He's got fucking force breath, man. Oh god. So you get excuse me, sorry. You get down to the docks. It looks like a more heavier set kind man. He's dressed in a full royal robe. It's extremely obvious this man is not royalty at all. He's almost disgusting in a way. Even though he's wearing royal robes, you could tell it's mostly out of trade of money. He looks more like a pirate than he does royalty. And you could, as you look him up and down, he's like, "Ah, yes, you found it. Please, bring it across."
I'm surprised you're up at this hour.
I'm always awake. Money never sleeps in, nor will I if I can handle it.
All right. I'll take the stuff out of my bag.
All right. As you do, you can see like his eyes sparkle. There's just that really disgusting boil that he's drooling on a little bit as he like salivates. And you can tell he gets really excited. He's got a few thuggish looking fellows behind him as he kind of steps down off of what this little chest pedestal that he was sitting on top of and looks it over. Can I tell you a secret? As he kind of like waddles over to you a little bit.
Sure, I don't see why not.
I'm a descendant of the shogunate. No one believes me, but I can prove it. I lead these men into battle every day. And he like points to him, and you see like this massive ship behind them all. Many of the people are bringing supplies in and out. It's very obvious, beat up and been through a lot of scraps on the ocean. And though not entirely screaming pirate, you get that sense from these people, especially from the amount of people who have no uniform and more of a look like dock workers going on and off the boat.
I'm selling to the criminal thugs.
This could prove it. As he looks at all the coins, like, see, don't you see the resemblance? And he like holds up one of the coins with the shogunate's face, and it looks absolutely nothing like him. As you kind of look, like the one wart kind of protrudes a little bit further than his lip, so it just looks like a really big lump instead.
Jesus Christ. I'm considering murder. Sure.
Oh, yeah. See? Smart one, this one. Don't waste any time. Bring the chest. He like waves them to bring it out. You can tell they're almost begrudging to bring this out. It looks like he's obviously spent more than his fair share on fairly stupid items, as he also has what looks like a Victorian-esque ladies' fan.
I want to kill this man. Yeah.
So they come out, they set it beside you. Peeps immediately tries to climb in.
Peeps test the gold.
And he's,
Test it. Like
just
fucking drug dealer.
fully climbs in, he bites into it, and he nods as he's like now chewing one of the gold coins.
It's pure.
Okay.
Whatever.
It is pure gold.
If you find any more, please bring it to me. I'm an avid collector of my great grandfather's items. I never got a chance to go to that swamp. There's too many undead. It was very unfortunate.
Actually, you'll find it completely devoid of undead. That's where we got it.
That's fantastic to hear. Thank you. And he like kind of grabs your hand and like kisses it profusely.
Murder levels rising. In
Slap him
fact, there's
and
an
watch
orb
his
in
head
there, a
knock off.
great treasure. We weren't even able to move it. It was so big.
Oh, you told him about the orb?
Oh, dear.
Perfect.
He's either gonna die to the Oni or die to the orb.
Perfect murder machine. No one will ever know. So he just runs over. He's like, guys, get the cart. We're going out riding. We're going to have to take a visit to my great grandfather's castle.
Y'all have fun now.
He always puts a lot of emphasis on all the greats. At the same time, you kind of look down at your hand, and it looks a little greasy, unfortunately. I kissed it.
Oh no. Well, at least he'll probably die.
After which, you can see, like, he has one of the escort carts that he could sit in the back while the men pull it, and he
Oh my god.
starts getting ready as they bring it down off the ship real quick.
Inconceivable.
By the way, it's in the secret chamber underneath the table.
Oh, is there any way I have to get in? Anything special?
Close all the doors and hit the button on the bottom of the table.
Fantastic! Thank you!
Good luck getting it out of there. You might need to use both hands.
Oh, good! You, get the extra cart! You see, the majority of these sailors, kind of begrudgingly, you can see the ones who don't have to bring the cart, who aren't this man's right hand, all almost smiling smugly because they know they can now spend a few more days drinking while their so-called commander is off following his ancestry.
Yeah.
So you see the rest of the thugs, they kind of pack up the chest and the molds with the coins and such, and they start bringing it onto the ship. You could see a lot of the men kind of rolling their eyes like, oh great, he just bought more trash that we're never going to be allowed to touch. In which it seems a little bit noisy, but other than that, you can see a few of them like watching Peeps. They're almost enthralled, but some are kind of laughing and pointing as Peeps is diving in and out of gold coins now.
He's just Scrooge McDucking it up.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Considering this money divided, probably a house divided against itself cannot stand.
He eventually like rises up like a shark with fin and slowly zeroes in on one coin that's sitting perfectly, and then just jaws mode, and then Gator rolls with all the gold coins.
Peeps, you are making a mess.
There's a few that jingle out here and there. There's a couple gold coins sitting around the chest now.
Ugh. Alright, no more eating gold for right now, come on.
He's like,
You can eat all the ones you dropped.
he starts running around and like scooping them all up in his mouth. He just has like that, you know, when a dog grabs too many balls or something. It's just like that face full of fucking food. He just has a face full of
Peeps.
coins.
But Peeps, what about that 5-second rule?
It's gold. I don't really think the dragon cares.
So, after all that endeavor, you could see it's just another casual day in the market as people kind of part way for the noisy fat man who proclaimed himself the great grandson of the ex-shogunate of the Forest of Spirits. So, and now,
There goes my hero.
and now you just have your destination and whatever else you wish to do in this town before leaving.
Okay, then that was the other thing I wanted to do. Okay, so if we want a way out of the gigantic pit that we'll inevitably find ourselves in, assuming we don't also all die on the way there, I think that we should use this new extra money to buy a teleportation scroll, then we should go find the location of a teleportation circle.
Well, the only one I can remember is that one we found in that one place in the Dragon Chick's office.
What?
That one dragon-born chick we killed, she had a teleportation circle in her office. The owner uses a
I
teleportation
think that was just
network.
linked. I don't think we can use that as a destination, can we, Josh?
Yeah, it was a destination set. It wasn't meant to be reversible. That way the Oni could keep it safeguarded.
Can I?
Anybody else think that's a good idea? Can I get
I
more
don't think-
information?
I don't think it would be a smart idea. I don't think it would be smart. I mean, where have we found a teleportation circle as of recently?
We can just go look one up.
It's true.
Could we make one?
Ken, would you like to provide some input? I mean, we can. It's kind of expensive, but...
Well, so the purpose of this is so that we could just teleport to where...
No, we
the
want to
Underdark is?
leave when we're done. So we aren't stranded at the bottom of the Underdark.
So we can just telly out of the Underdark instead
Yeah,
of
pretty much.
climbing back up through it.
I don't know. If we get there, getting out seems much more.
Well, I mean,
feasible.
we're going to piss off a lot of people when this one specific person we kill dies. You know?
Well, with their leader dead, I'm sure they'll be in disarray. Sounds like that's the type of,
array we want to be in, but
Well, I don't know.
I mean, Link's Portal is really cheap. It's not like it really matters. It's only 680 gold.
we just, I guess, I suppose we should just leave it in a place that we know is safe, so we can just teleport out and we have somewhere safe to stay.
Okay, Josh, before everybody else wakes up, I'm going to go look. I'm going to go ask around about a teleportation circle.
Alright. It's pretty easy to find. You go to one of the mages that a lot of the more wealthier people had gone to around this area, especially since the Themistral family is so close and now having even closer ties with the Emperor of Kasai. They obviously needed faster modes of transportation. And he does have a few other scrolls that can teach you such things, as well as they were setting up teleportation circles so it'd be faster for the family to teleport between the capital of Kasai and the Themistral house, but that would mean mainly access to the Themistral family only.
Okay, how much is it for one of these locations?
As he kind of starts flipping through his book, and you can see there's obviously red X's beside a lot of the more dangerous ones, and a few others that have almost like serene stamped circles beside them. And he kind of looks to you, he's like, how much are you willing to spend?
I'd like one that's on the surface and one that will not immediately smash me into oblivion.
As he starts flipping through again, you start seeing a lot more blue circles, only the occasional red X beside it. After which he finally stops and...
Oh, with an occasional. No, red. Oh,
So, as he finally comes to a page, it's just almost all blue circles with the find adornment and just one red X at the very bottom. He sets it down and like, well, I can tell you about the location. It was more closer towards the middle of Kasai. It's between here and the capital. That would
Close
be,
enough.
That would be only about 1,000 gold to know the location of that and the teleportation ruins, so you can connect to this.
Yeah, sure. I don't even need to delve into the money that we have to be able to pay for that and a scroll. So yeah, sure.
Very well. I'll make up the side scrolls for you as well. As he starts sketching out, you can see he gets a lot of the runes and symbols ready, pulls out the location book, goes to the exact page, and you see the runes and symbols page as well. Pulls out a very strange looking bottle of iridescent ink and starts scribbling it down. You could see the ink setting in and the arcane magic's actually kind of swirling a little bit as he's going. It's almost very artistic the way he just writes this down with the quill, and it's just perfect and nothing out of place with each stroke. This man's calligraphy is on point. After which he finishes up the location and hands it over to you. It should be the exact location and the scroll that you desire to the said location. The only thing I can honestly say that might be a danger is that merchants might try and swarm you immediately after, because they're used to more rich people going through that one.
All right. So he's giving me 1,000 gold for the scroll and the location.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What a hero. Okay.
It's, well, pretty much looks like you're not really a threat, and it's not like you're a pirate.
If only they knew.
I'm sure everyone in town knows us.
Yeah.
We just like boosted the town's economy by 8,000%.
Pretty much. There's like no one has any real issues other than the innkeeper, who just had the unfortunate event, but she knows that's not entirely your fault. It's just maybe somebody wanted to steal your cash.
Yeah, we get a lot of black blood assassins trying to steal our cash.
We've become so rich we've attracted the treasure assassins.
That bag of gems, Boyle. Give me them.
Alright, well, thank you.
And he gives a very deep, polite bow, and then starts going back to a few of his, what looks like research notes. You could tell that in this Tellarium has very, very unique sets, as well as he might be the wizard that's been set to maintain the portal and make sure that it is there long enough so it's set permanently after a year.
What a hero. Okay, yeah, well, I'm gonna go walk back to the inn, probably because now everybody's gonna be awake.
Pseudo, you dream of a succubus.
no.
I'm sorry, that was a great reaction. Just, no. Oh yeah, fuck it. You dream of cats, actually.
No. Not him.
As a succubus.
Oh, no!
As
No,
an
it's even worse.
incubus.
It's an incubus.
Yeah.
He says, "Is the fecal cement ready?"
No! Run!
So,
It's a fate.
but
just
no,
like that.
you do actually have a dream. It's just Gat's looming over you in his full form that you saw in the astral throne room.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
heavily breathing.
Does he do anything, or is he just standing there menacingly?
So, towards what seems like an eternity of this man staring at you in the dream. He finally points at you, and you literally feel yourself getting weaker and shriveling away. But then you see like a brief reprieve of peace, and you can see your sister, your father, and your mother.
Which sister?
Omeko.
Okay.
The hot one.
Damn right, Nick.
Amaya. Fucking Christ. Oh, God. So,
I ain't got time for that bitch, Josh.
you see for a brief moment, you're sailing on the ocean, what looks like a burning continent in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually see what looks like a figure of the Lord Gemini from what you saw of him in almost shadow-like form looming over the edge of the coast as you start going out into the distance. And for what looks like a brief moment, everything's fine and calm. And then you look down and in your palm, in your grip, you see that you're holding the box, and then you wake up.
I need the box.
Goodbye, Alexis.
So
Looks like they lost internet.
Farewell.
What?
Okay.
Did we lose someone?
We lost
Alexis.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, Josh. I see it. I see it. I've got some stuff to do. Not now. Later. Am I sweaty?
Very.
Yes.
Go summon a succubus to go take a shower.
Ooh. I am gonna go to the baths, Josh.
All right.
I don't know what this forest is equipped with.
So, you go down. You actually do see that they have very nice hot baths here. It's more of a classic style. They don't have hot springs, unfortunately, this close to the coast. But they do have fire-heated baths, which are actually a lot nicer because they can be kept at a much more reasonable temperature and ready all the time.
I was about to raise a complaint, but they have saved it.
A murder complaint.
You don't have any fucking hot springs!
Unsheathes katana.
Unsheathes fist.
So, Kaida, early in the morning, aside from being greeted by the warm breakfast and the sweet smells of
Hello,
everything,
I may have crashed for a second there.
just a second. You're greeted by the delicious smell of breakfast and
Failed, no fuck off.
so
The CB loader was just about done, and then my internet decided to die, and now I've got to re-download the file.
oh, that's great.
Hooray!
I love it. I love it. It's great.
Cancer, go.
I'm gonna kill myself. Anyway, continue.
So, Kaida, as you also retrieve your breakfast, you also find a bottle of perfume accompanying it.
You know, for tonight. Picking up a block.
So,
Do you squirt it on you?
oh no.
What's this now?
Roz, do you squirt the perfume on you?
He needs
Brad.
to know.
Wait for the
It seems like a
sigh.
bad idea. Just the way Brad presents it. If it was anyone else.
I mean, you can't go life judging it by how I'm presenting it.
I think I can, Brad.
No.
Knowing you?
Hey, I just want to know if you're gonna squirt this man's musk on you.
Oh no!
His man musk.
Do not do it.
Saucy.
Don't listen to Nick.
See, I'm glad someone disagrees with me,
Put that down. That is an order.
and it's you, Brad. Because if you disagree with me, I know I'm doing the right thing.
I mean, you just gotta get one spritz. You know what I mean? It'll be alright.
Fuck off, Brad.
What's it gonna do? Make you smell good?
Probably.
Or you could smell like whale barf.
Why? Alright, is everybody in-game finally awake?
I would imagine.
Alright, is everybody ready to begin this?
Yes, refresh my memory exactly what we're doing. How are we going to get to this underground place?
Well, I bought this. I pulled the actual Tuathon road whistle, not the lesser one. I'm just going to use this to find the entrance. And then I bought this, and I'm going to pull out a really big hunk of ice with a bunch of etchings in it. This is a map of the entire Underdark.
Well done.
That is how we're going to get there.
And how'd you get that?
Magic.
They sell them in every convenience store.
Yeah, who doesn't want an entire map of the Underdark made out of ice? It is actually made out of ice, by the way.
Is it gonna melt?
No, it has hit points, though, so if I leave it somewhere, it can get hit and destroyed.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Don't leave it anywhere.
It is specifically ice that does not melt.
Well,
The stipulation is that it burns like wood.
Huh.
that's
It's
even
a-
more confusing.
Ice that burns like
Yes.
wood.
Do not question the ice gloom chart.
Very well. Have you used it already, or have you
I do not
located
recall
the
traveling
entrance?
into the Underdark. I was waiting till everybody was ready.
I was talking about the other item, but okay.
I assume it will work. Okay, well.
Reality just got gypped for like 50,000.
Tuathon Road Whistle's actually really cheap. It's only 5,000.
I mean, we have 100,000 gold to spend. I don't think we can really waste it anywhere.
Yeah. Alright. Okay, so, let me go look up the specific locations again, because did you delete them off of that? Yeah, you did. Damn. Yeah, I recorded all the specific locations for myself, and you removed it from the Spoils of Battle.
Oops.
I don't know why I put it on there, but...
But yeah, the Black Circle Pits is where you're headed.
Okay. Well, I take out the whistle, I blow on it, and I say the Black Circle Pits.
So, as you do, you can see the arrow immediately heading to the south of town and directly guiding you into the distance. It seems to be the ideal location of where the capital would be. At least in that
Capital?
capital.
Oh god, we're going towards the capital?
Yes.
Well, bad news. It's apparently in the direction of the capital.
Why is that bad news?
Because the Oni are currently attacking. You know?
What?
Well, I mean, you know, war and stuff is going on. We might get caught in the middle of it, but... Anyways,
Wait,
does everybody have provisions?
Wait.
Yeah?
The Oni's attacking where my mom is?
Probably soon.
Oh. When
I'm sure she made it out, Pseudo.
when was that decided?
What do you mean?
Did we know about that?
I mean, it isn't like it's actually happening right now, but it's assumed it's probably going to happen pretty soon, judging by their massive attack force.
Hmm.
It might be
Pseudo.
happening right now. Nobody knows.
If you want me to, I can send her a message.
That would put me at ease.
We can bring her with us. I'm sure she'd love the Underdark.
Well, I don't know about that, but getting her out of the city at the very least. Perhaps somewhere far away, across the sea.
Yeah, that would work.
There's this little place called Sandpoint.
Oh, that sounds great there. I hope I
He's green and the girls are pretty.
I'll start preparing the ritual, Josh, to tell her that.
Okay.
get to go to Sandpoint one day. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
As you're preparing the ritual, everything's very calm for a moment. But then you get a very bewildering message yourself.
Wow. Okay.
Did this work? Hello? Immediately followed by two other voices that seem to have gone through in the exact same message. We did not fail. The darkness will consume you. And the other one, I already have you.
That's some
What?
shit going on.
What did he say? I already have you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You kind of recognize the voice from one the rituals you did earlier. Down below.
Orcus is tapping into your cell line.
What? I don't understand.
Remember the whispers in Ku's head?
Oh, right. So I'm just hearing.
The aftershock.
Okay. Well,
You got the
I don't reply.
You're gonna get spam messaged now.
I assume you can like refuse it.
Yeah, you can.
That would be dumb if you couldn't.
Fucking annoying.
It just sends like a million ping messages.
And at that moment, 1,000 Skype calls were launched all at once.
Alright, so what would you like to send to Pseudo's mother?
All right. Well, as long as she's 500 miles away,
Mm-hmm.
I say something along the lines of, Pseudo needs you to get out of the city, attack coming, leave across the sea. And I guess that's what I'll send.
So, after a fair amount of time, you get a message back like, Pseudo's alright? What do you mean leave across the sea? To where? And just a bunch of motherly panic and gibberish of, is he alright? Where did he go? I heard of the attack on Thava. He vanished there. Everyone kept saying something about a witch and a demon.
So Pseudo, is there anything you want me to tell your mom? Perhaps that she knows that the message is from you and sincere?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, man. All I want to tell her is that girl's a bitch.
Josh, can we just say that Pseudo would know something from his childhood that only he would know or something?
The headband.
Oh,
What?
It flutters in the wind.
the headband that flows since my childhood days. How could I have forgotten?
Even
Since I was
indoors.
born. I've worn it since I was born.
My mother gave it to me when I was an infant.
To cover up the hole in the head in my head I was born with.
Let me tell you of what it does.
Covers that shit so I don't stick my finger in my brain.
Oh, God.
But I'll send another message saying, if Pseudo gives me something, I'll include that to know that it's for real.
Yeah.
So
And I'll also say that none of that matters now. Leave now or you will all die.
So, again, a little bit of time passes. You get the message back. A little bit of panic in the thought of words, but she's like, "All right, I'll get everyone and everything I can, and we'll leave right away."
All right, Pseudo, it's done. Your family's leaving.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Except that one bitch.
Well, that's up to your mom.
Didn't she leave?
Yeah, but your sister wasn't there either yet. No one's seen her for a while.
I don't think anybody's seen a Mako since 2009.
It's true. Bitch is gone.
Are we going to be going over any large bodies of water towards the capital? Because I am totally hyped to use the tourmaline turtle.
You could do that to make it quicker. You are in a bay area. Let me bring up the map.
If I mentally consider the tourmaline turtle, does the arrow change its direction?
No, but it maintains its directive for you, telling you where to go.
Okay. How are you all up for using the giant turtle?
I
Anything to
reckon
get
it'd be
us
mighty fun.
there quicker.
Considering the shortcut potential, I would say it's much, much faster.
Yeah, it would be very quick for you to.
Because we could just go to like here.
Yep.
From wherever we are.
You get this entire thing you can trek with the turtle.
So, wait.
Zidao is it's the small oceanic gulf.
So we somehow went from Kasai to Minkai through the mountains. Then we ended up in the Forest of Spirits. We've gone through the Forest of Spirits, and now we're here. Or are we over here now?
We're around this.
Okay.
So what's the how many miles can the turtle take us? Or is it unlimited?
If I remember correctly, I think it just goes until it reaches its destination and then vanishes. Or until
It's from Dragon Magazine 384, so I'm gonna go look at specific information.
I'll pull it up real quick.
For some reason, it's not in a normal book. Because the thing on the PDF doesn't really say anything other than the turtle will carry you on its back.
Paracelsi. Oh, I need to relog.
Tourmaline turtle. Yeah, it becomes a massive turtle. So we're definitely gonna create quite the storm. We're like, oh, where are you guys gonna go? You don't have a boat. Holy shit!
And it's a fortress too, so and it could completely
Oh.
submerge.
Oh wait, so unless we're doing plane shift, it basically acts as a speed 4 mount.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks.
It goes over the water. I mean, I don't think that's that bad.
I mean, we
Uh,
could just
Good.
buy a boat.
It's, I believe,
Could we
boats
buy an
are
airship? How
fast.
much is an airship?
Really expensive.
Also, I don't know if we'd be able to just buy an airship anywhere. It's not a magic item.
That would require
So-
quite the inventor.
To put it into perspective, 2 people rowing in a boat is a speed of 4, and the turtle is a speed of 4. So do we want to row 500 miles, or?
I could easily say the turtle would probably go a lot faster than that.
It's an epic level turtle. Come on.
I could forgive passing on the keeping the 4 speed, considering it's not going to be doing anything except transposing you from one area to another.
Oh, cool. All right.
Besides,
Well, I
it's
guess.
fucking stupid to have something that big move that slow.
Yeah, it's so slow. But yeah, let's do it.
All right, so let's go walk down to the dock.
Swim of 4. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Swim of 4. I could understand if it's like a battle situation, then it would move slow.
Right.
'Cause it's a turtle.
And it's massive.
But in the ocean, like, you could go so many knots and it wouldn't fucking bother you because it's the ocean, and not to mention its mass is so fucking huge. Like, water wouldn't really be able to knock it unless it's like a fucking hurricane from hell.
We're also going in a straight line too. the most
Wait,
part.
do we really want to go out in the water? I just remembered. Do we
What?
really want to go out in the water? Because
Why
there's
not?
still that thing that's out there.
Oh, that
Yeah,
fucking.
remember the Kraken?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
do we really want to go out in the water? I don't want to anymore. Because I don't want to
Hey, you don't know about that. You can't weigh in our opinion.
Oh yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
true.
I don't know.
Excuse me, I can't actually take that counsel into consideration because I didn't remember it either.
Well, there you are then. I guess we are traveling by water.
Driving an epic level turtle, I feel pretty safe.
I mean, Pseudo doesn't know about it either.
We could just have the turtle 1v1 the squid.
I'm pretty sure that turtle could choke the fuck out of a squid.
Just fucking eats it like calamari.
Alright, okay, I'm gonna make an intelligence check to see if I remembered that, because that is an important factor to consider.
History check.
Ken, what were you gonna say?
I was just thinking, like, is that really a danger you'd think was significant? Because it's like we're assuming a lot that the creature can locate us at all times, that it knows our exact location.
That it
That it's
actually is
go-
actively hunting us to begin with.
We are talking
Yeah.
about Josh here, and we're crossing over a gigantic.
We're talking about Josh here. What? What about Josh?
We are also crossing a gigantic, like, sea
Water.
abyss.
I mean,
I
it
think
doesn't
it would
mean we
hide
can't
there.
just stay close to the side. I mean, we don't have to ride directly out in the middle.
Yeah, but like his cave was what, here? Here-ish?
No, it was
No, it was way
down, down. Yeah, down there, I believe. Because we were
went-
just
we
south
went
of the
from
capital.
Here to here.
The capital is Kasai, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, well,
Kasai's right there. Cave would be.
let's think about this though.
Let's go
From
brave.
there, it could have just gone that way.
Wow, well, let's
But
just-
why would
Alright,
it
okay,
Not
everybody vote
go
on your
directly
phones. Who wants
over
to use
the
a turtle,
abyss.
point to the left.
Yeah, I'm on board this turtle 100%.
Okay, we have 4 votes for turtle riding. Let's
Okay.
go.
Turtle it
There's
up.
Yeah,
absolutely
turtle.
no reason to not turtle it up. Besides, if we die in a turtle, that's the best thing I've ever had happen to me.
Are you,
I don't think can die.
are you going above water or underwater? Because both is totally optional.
We'll start above water and then we'll see where that takes us.
Alright.
Turtle.
I'm just getting Jaws flashbacks in my brain now.
Alright, so I'll try to pick a dock that doesn't have too many people on it, considering that I might be also wrecking the dock with this maneuver. I don't know how big this turtle is.
It's, let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's gargantuan class.
Okay, yeah, that's a very big turtle.
Might want to go to a beach for this.
it'll be fine.
Well, then we have to push it into the water.
It walks.
It's a living creature.
Oh, well.
It isn't a motorboat.
It's
Yeah, but it's a giant turtle. It's gotta, like,
14,400
Oh.
pounds.
Whew.
Or that's what it could carry. That's not its weight.
Oh.
Which means it actually weighs more than that.
All right. Well, I guess let's ask everybody else. Do we want to make this thing on the dock, or do we want to actually walk a little bit?
I think we should walk a little bit.
Sure. I don't think we should bring any more attention to ourselves.
I suppose so. All right, let's go for a walk.
God. So,
Probably just out of sight of the town or whatever.
where you're just like dots in the distance, and it's just like a small little cresting horizon of what you could see of them.
All right. Go, turtle.
Alright, so as you sit down this
Turtle, I choose you.
sizable statue down in the water and activate it, you see what looks like rapid arcane movements as now it's starting to part the water as it's taking its full form. And you see this enormous creature push into the waves, creates a small tidal wave in itself on the creation, and it's like somebody just plopped down a small castle. You could see in the distance all the small buildings. You can imagine how this creature probably looks from a distance, suddenly appearing on the coast. It's almost bewildering of how this thing exists, but it's not only just a massive turtle. It's got a full-sized keep on its back, and it looks to be well furnished. Everything in there is actually looks well kept, as one of the gangplanks kind of comes down from the side and sets in the sand beside its head as it looks down at all of you, almost expectantly.
And slowly says, Squirtle!
Blast hordes.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Well, I will start boarding.
I will follow.
You could see the very large tourmaline eye kind of following you as you go in place. It's very, very weird, but also extremely immense and awesome in its power. And you get just this very gentle repose of peace from this creature, even though it's a summoned figurine from another realm.
I assume we command it from inside the keep.
Mm-hmm. As you literally will it, you can feel that it would know the destination as you told it. I would immediately start pursuing so. If you wish to go by purely water or stay closer to the coast and semi-on land.
And I think that we should probably, to avoid notice, go underwater, but also stay close enough to the coast.
All right.
I'm just saying that's probably the most logical thing to do. As
Just barely submerged, like first layer.
yeah, to the point where we'd probably freak the fuck out of every single fisherman that looked down.
Just that
Holy
large
shit!
fucking
What is
shadow.
that? Oh, dude, we're driving a turtle.
Awesome.
Surf's up, dude.
I don't need to do anything else in this campaign. This is it.
See, there's no way we couldn't drive the turtle. I'm gonna be honest. I was disappointed that we were never gonna get to use it.
And now you can. All right. So, stepping in, you can see the gangplank rises up, the portcullis comes down. You can see it goes up to the small ramparts all around. It's literally a well-fortified, well-stocked fortress. It has all the food and supplements that you would ever need, all the amenities and comfort of home. And it's very bewildering that such an object exists with this amount of power, and also just the amount of comfort it brings as well while being transported. As you kind of will it to start heading out to the ocean and kind of keep a low profile and keep coasted just under the water. It takes a good distance out into the ocean a little bit to finally be able to submerge the very top of the keep. As you do, it looks like the water is about to fill in, but then stops right at the edge of what seems to be like an arcane barrier as it fills up over the top of the dome and covers just above. Not a single drop of water gets in, and you remain completely dry, but you can all breathe perfectly fine.
For those of us that still need to breathe.
I still need to breathe.
Breathing nerds.
I must say, I am impressed.
Me being one of them.
Alright, so
Suppose we're all just gonna sit here in mutual silence as we cross the goddamn ocean on the back of a gigantic turtle.
Damn it.
I assume there's some kind of like front window room. I'm just gonna go sit in that.
you could literally see fish and other creatures swimming by, and it's almost bewildering to actually be at this point of view. I'm just gonna plop that just for.
I thought that was a card table, and I was like,
Wow. Oh, it's a mini map.
Mini map.
It's a tiny little ickle bickle map. Look how small it is.
It's a mini me. What? As you go out and you look through the viewing areas, and even on top of the ramparts that have been kept dry, Peeps is staring in amazement. He's kind of like reaching out and splashing just a little bit into the water.
he's gaining vocabulary.
It's very
Learning.
it's very beautiful to actually see the ocean from this angle and see everything perfect, not blackened over, covered by the sun, or where you can't see it. There's mixtures of different fish, plant life, and other living creatures that you would have never even known existed if you hadn't come down in the turtle. As well as you could see the occasional whale that passes by of immense size and proportion. As you also continue on through the day of travel, because you could tell this will take a good amount of time with the turtle, but still it's a lot faster than traveling over the land, especially since it's in a straight line. You occasionally see the one or two fishing boats that it passes under, and you can see the boats like rocking back and forth from people rushing over to see this massive shadow of a turtle going underneath them.
Godzilla.
We're creating the myth of
Look,
Godzilla.
it's Godzilla!
Ah! As well as
Actually, due to international copyright laws, it's not. Still, we should run like it is Godzilla! No, it isn't. Ah!
Oh god. So, you occasionally see like the more heftier vessels that have a larger barge underneath. They immediately see you can tell they've seen the shadow in the distance and start to veer off course a little bit. But none seem to be taking partial. It looks like there's one fisherman who's following you for a bit as best he can before he just can't keep up and kind of gives up after following you for a bit.
I have
He's gonna
the
try
best
to
song
angle.
for this at the moment. Hang on. Me too. I gotta get this song.
So, as you get closer and closer to your destination, you kind of feel the whispers come into your mind again.
I'll accept the collect call.
Here we go.
Oh god. Do I know you? I recognize your voice. It mixes in with the others, though.
I'll reply back. You should remember the one that undid everything you've done. You failed.
Oh.
Angering an archmage in your spare time.
Free action.
Free action bring death upon us all. As Ku uses true portal to disintegrate. Drown,
We'll just
bitches.
push him into the ocean.
He's a lich. I don't think he'd care.
He just.
Oh yeah, he can't.
There's
well,
two party members. Well, I should say 3 because of this guy right here. That just would not fucking care to be at the bottom of the ocean because they don't have to breathe.
I have to breathe. I like breathing.
That's funny. I don't.
Filthy air scrubbers.
Okay, what we'll do is if he comes here, we'll knock him out. We'll tie iron lead weights to his shoes and then drop him off the side. Have
Wait,
fun
he
climbing
doesn't-
out of the bottom of the ocean.
He doesn't know where we worded out the true portal to us.
He can only send messages. He doesn't know where they go. But
Send message is a lot like a Skype call. It doesn't tell you where the person lives.
Sure.
Do do do.
Bloop. New phone. Who this? Oh God.
New phone. Who this?
New body, who dis?
So, as the day continues on, it's very, very serene, very quiet down here. You do notice that many of the items that would probably be torches are used in replace of, been replaced in use of glow orbs. That, upon when touching it, you can dim or lighten the entirety of the room, which probably on the surface has been bewildering many of the fishermen, and also probably what scared probably a good portion of the travelers that have gone by you.
This fact that we glow like a fucking lighthouse under the water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go dim some of those, because, I mean, I'd prefer if we didn't arouse too much suspicion.
Just the ones on the top battlements. The ones inside the building are not able to get the illumination further out, other than maybe the occasional window, which is not really notable that far down on the water.
The ocean god is visiting destruction upon somebody.
Gordura!
Godzilla.
Meanwhile, Kraken's tearing up trade ships, so this just reinforces the fear even more.
Seems like they're really cracking it up.
Oh god.
That was a weak pun, anyways.
So,
Let us continue the ocean voyage. Oh, the guy shoot Fulton.
oh fuck. So, after a good portion of this day goes by, you can tell it's starting to get dark. The top of the water crests over to pitch black. You do see the occasional ripple of starlight and the moon itself high in the sky. Other than that, it's fairly quiet, though unfortunately you don't have any servants for those of you who have to eat. But there is a fully stocked kitchen if you wish to attempt to cook. For those of you who do and don't know how to cook. Peeps just keeps trying to find anything gold possible inside the entirety of the castle. This guy's priorities. So, as the day carries forth, obviously not much happens. You get much closer to your destination from where you told the turtle to head to. You can tell it's probably not going to take much longer, considering it's been heading straight there for the entirety of the time. And even just as the first 2 days really pass, not much happens other than the occasional fisherman's glance and a few boats trying to follow and see where you go, but not being able to keep up, and others who are just completely avoiding what they see underneath the water. Eventually, on about the 4th day, when you're getting close to the coast of your destination, you receive one more message of almost what seems strange. Hey, I guess I won't have to next time.
That's all he says is, I guess I won't have to next time.
Mm-hmm. You could tell he's like totally fucking lost in his train of thought for the message that he just sent.
Of course.
You get a small hint of the tone in his voice, though, that he picked up on who it was.
No, not us.
As well as from the box, you can hear subtle whispers, though, from there.
Oh, from the box?
Mm-hmm. You hear whispers creep into your mind. The Lord's weapon is getting closer.
I just, get a big smile on my face. Maybe grip the box a little tighter.
So, as that keeps you company for the time, you finally see that you're getting closer and closer to the edge of the coastline. Finally gets to the point of where the turtle has to fully re-emerge from the water. It's not exactly on Kasai. You can tell this city is in the distance in itself, though the arrow seems to be guiding towards the mountains.
Alright. Well, I guess this is probably where we should get off the turtle then.
Probably.
So, the portcullis opens up, gangplank comes down. You could see different mixtures of seaweed and other plant life that is attached, even the occasional starfish that seems to have latched on to this giant turtle. A few other bits and bobs that have almost comically kind of stuck to this creature. Before you will finally descend from the castle itself as it starts to shrink back down into the more sizable statue. As you look around, you do see two kids that were in the bushes just kind of sitting there whispering like, "Did you see that? It's so cool. Oh my god. You think they're demigods? No way. It has to be. It has to be gods, man."
Man, they're really hip.
You can tell they're lost in the moment of watching all of you as you descended from the gangplank and the turtle shrink down into this compact 2-pound statue.
Can we see the city from here?
In the distance, you could see it. It would probably take a good while walking, but you could also see that Paracelsus can see that that whistle.
It's for the entire party, technically.
Yeah, I was about to say that whistle lets everyone see. So you can still see the arrow is close by, but is now pointing towards the mountains. Alright, so as you wave at the kids, like they're all like, "Oh, dude," and they like just immediately start waving, like almost like they're starstruck and just not sure.
Oh God!
What to do. Like,
I was hoping they'd be terrified. This is much worse.
and they both start running off, like, "Oh my God!"
Oh, thank God.
Like, obviously they're excited, but they also like they're not sure. You could tell they weren't sure. It sounded like they just assumed that you were like demigods or gods sent on a mission. And then,
We are on a mission from God.
We are, except for it's going to be not to their liking when it happens. Okay, well.
Oh, well.
So, continuing forth, you start to get closer to the mountains itself, not really much posing in the way of travel, other than just having to get there. Many of the people that you pass by on the roads don't really bat much of an eyelash, even though it's a rather unique group walking by.
No sign of the Oni yet?
None yet. Which is...
We must have beat him.
Considering we have the item that he's probably scouring the entire palace looking for.
Yeah, good point. He's like, this was
Where
his
is it? I
plan.
know they have to have that turtle somewhere.
He gets that really late news from the town up north, like, yo, these guys left on a, like, there was some kind of giant turtle that appeared on the beach and then it was just fucking gone. God damn it!
Flanders!
Skinner! But continuing on, you start reaching the base of the mountains fairly quick. As you start going through the forest following this pathway, it's almost like it was a hidden path in itself, with this arrows guiding you along, that most people wouldn't really spy it if they were going by, but if they had traveled it before, they would easily see it. You finally get to what looks like the base edge of the mountain itself, and there's just a giant, perfectly circular cavernous opening in the side of the mountain. A couple of boulders are strewn about on the side. A few other items that seem to have been kind of abandoned at the edge of the camp. One that looks like a broken bow. One that looks like somebody's shoe that kind of got flung to the side. And what looks like a broken and battered shield crushed upon the rocks. Only one item that seems almost quizzical of how it got there is this strange backpack that seems to be hanging in the trees itself, as well as what looks like to be previously a campsite, but there's a few rocks kind of laid out and what looked like it came crashing down on top of the tents, as well as what looks like was a campfire, but kind of got almost like it was crushed along the ground as well, before another juxtaposing hole is on the other side as well. That seems to be going deeper down at a much more sharper slant, but the arrow seems to be going down into the one that has more of a reasonable incline.
The spiders must have come up to eat whoever these people were.
I suppose so.
Does someone want to climb up in that tree and check that backpack?
It's the best
Sure. No.
You're a volunteer.
I mean, probably the best one of us for climbing up trees.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
considering you have a climb speed.
the fox creature.
It lives.
Damn.
Forgot.
So, kinda you
I
nimble.
can just fly up to it and get it. But,
So it's a race. Roll initiative.
oh yeah.
Who's
No,
the-
I want to get the backpack first. No, fuck you.
Oh god. So, Kaida, you quickly nip your way up there. You find what looks like just like a simple adventurer's pack. Doesn't really look like much was used out of it. And you find, well, just 2 simple daggers. Kind of looks brand new, not like they've really ever been used. Potion of regeneration. What looks like to be what was probably a treasure map. And it led to this location, and unfortunately it doesn't look like the person managed to get there in time. And as well as just a few other rations, a bedroll, and some rope as well.
So it's a map leading to this location we're at right now.
Correct.
Wow, some treasure.
I'm just gonna throw the whole pack down.
All right. As you toss it down, you could tell it was only one shoulder strap that was still good. The other strap on the other side clearly snapped right in two, frayed perfectly. It looks like the person's body weight kind of just ripped it right off.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So I say to everyone, would you like to know what happened here? If we could spare about 10 minutes, I could tell you.
I don't see
Can't
why
we
not.
just walk and talk?
Well, I have to perform a ritual.
Sure, why not? It might give us some insight as to what we're gonna find.
All right, Josh. So I cast Inquisitive's Eyes, and I see up to 25 hours ago this location, and I can observe the scene as if I was here, as if I was there.
All right. So, as you're looking through, you see everything that's kind of rapidly passing, and then you finally see this group of very young adventurers. It looks like there's about 4 of them. One that's heavily plated, has a lot of fancy armor. It looks like he probably got ripped off because it's overly adorned and looks extremely cheesy, like one of those scroll heroes you'd read in a fucking Dojin or something. And fucking the other one looks extremely well studied, well rounded, has a long robe, seems to be wearing the backpack, and has the map in hand. As well as the other one looks like a short sword and the bow. From what you could tell, it was the bow that snapped on the ground there. As well as the 4th other person, who seems to be carrying the shovel, and looks like he has a pretty faithful dog there. After a little bit of time, you could see that the location was found. They started digging. As they after they're digging for a good minute, you see that they start to look panic, and they stand up, looking around. Everything in the camp looks like it's rattling for a second before a sudden burst, and it looked like almost like passing shadow for a moment before this figure leans back up, and for a brief moment you could see what it is as it dives back into the ground on the other side, after it has all 4 of these people in its maw along with the dog, before a quick crunch and pushing back into the earth.
No.
It's a giant worm.
Oh shit.
I gotta do the worm.
Ah, it was a giant worm that ate these adventurers.
You reckon it's still here?
I have no way of detecting that.
I'm sure we
That
can
time
tell.
we ran into something like a giant worm.
Oh yeah, we did fight one.
No, we walked by it.
Yeah, we totally ignored it.
Oh, I remember that giant worm.
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely remember a spirit companion being eaten.
Didn't it fuck off before it died?
Yeah, it couldn't actually
Yeah.
digest it.
Oh yeah, okay, then it fucked off. Yeah, this might be the same worm. Who knows?
Well, best be careful, and if you feel any tremors, be on guard.
All right. Go gadget delve for sprite light.
Alright. As you turn on the light and you start walking into this perfectly cylindrical, smooth cavern, it's actually quite expansive.
Is the wall a worm, Josh?
I poked
You
those.
said
those
perfectly, yeah, perfectly cylindrical, smooth cavern. I'm not gonna get a Star Wars right here.
You mean like what happened with my Traveler game? No.
I'm suspicious of the perfect walls.
uh,
Wait, was the cavern here in her flash and Yuno's flashback?
It was after the worm left, because she saw it where
Oh.
it made the other hole going back down.
Oh wow. Okay then, never mind. I'm decidedly okay with this.
You can see there's no stalagmites or stalactites anywhere to be seen. Obviously, due to Yuno's informative knowledge, this hole has been completely chewed out and made, ironically, the perfect path down into the location that you're destined for.
I'm going to be honest though. If it made this entire path, it probably made it in one pass. That does not bode well.
It's a big worm.
Well, I'm certain there are worse things down here anyway.
That's true.
Alright.
So,
Well, I also draw the ice gloom chart.
alright.
Since, I might as well have that to compare the other map to.
Okay. So, as you pull out your map, you see it start sketching out the Underdark as you're now starting to coast into the very edges of it as you're going down, 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 and down, and down. It almost feels like an eternity of walking. As the map sketches out, it shows this long, massive tunnel, a few break-offs that look like slight crags and cracks that might have happened, or even the occasional fissure. You see myriads and mixtures of water, some that look like lava dredge flows, and even some areas that look very questionable in the way they've been formed, like maybe they've been carved out. The main path itself has you going further and further down. Doesn't really look like there's too many breakaways, but obviously it's not entirely straight. As you keep going and studying the map, you can tell there's some bends that obviously you have to go around. Others that just there are no openings that you would unfortunately have to take that path. And then also you see further ahead, much further ahead, that unfortunately, even though the whistle does guide you as fast as you can, it's very obviously not as safe as you can, as some seem to have passed over large ravines and cracks, while others look like they seem to be passing over what looks like riverbeds and lava.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also why I have the map to help me out in seeing all the other paths that we can take.
So, continuing forth, you could see that as deep as this tunnel continues, many of the areas here had seemingly been chewed out by what looks like to be myriads of worms. All varying different sizes, some enormous, some 5 foot wide, or others are 20 feet wide holes. Other than that, you could see that there are definitely plenty of older ones there. Measuring out how big that worm is, Ken. So,
I'm glad I have a foul branch seed with me.
mm-hmm.
I do not regret buying
I was
that.
going to say, look, if it shows up, best bet is to probably jump straight through its mouth.
That's true.
Hopefully it'll shut us back out because we have high HP.
Well, secondary thing, you also won't be gnashed by the teeth.
Exactly.
Or bludgeoned by the large body.
That too. Nobody wants a headbutt from that thing. So, as you're going through, there's a strange myriad of sounds. Some from rolling waters and thundering tides. Others to what sounds like sulfurous booms of volcanic activity. Down here in the dark, even if you could see with dark vision, it's almost very bewildering. It's like almost floating in the void, practically. as you can hear all the echoes coming from every different direction. So, as you're going down, Paracelsus, obviously you keep checking behind. Peeps is looking back and forth at all the different things that he can try and spy in the dark and whatever the miner's light shows for you. For many of you, this is following Paracelsus as she guides the way. You do hear the occasional rumble and you feel the vibrations hit your feet. Ooh. Yeah, so you see every single curve of the stone here perfectly fine, and even the occasional crack and crag that may have popped through for the floor. As you're going along, you can tell that you're getting to a more heated area as the temperature starts to become a little more humid, and it's a little unbearable for those who have a good amount of fur. For Paracelsus and Peeps, I would imagine it's fairly comfortable, not too much.
And don't forget the undead lady of the party.
That too. She's feeling just dandy. So, after a good minute, you finally feel what you think was like a volcanic eruption for a brief moment. Before, on the side of the cavern, you see one of the holes kind of punch through, almost like a volcanic rock just broke through the tunnel, and you can see the bright glowing embers of what looks like red molten magma. And after a moment or two, as you're, I would imagine, probably trying to hurry by,
I draw the decanter of endless water and I put it on medium and just spray it at it. Which is the one that doesn't need well, actually, you know what? Strength checks. Never mind. No, I just leave it on medium.
All right. So you spray. It kind of, you see a little bit of lava blubs out, and then it hardens over. And then after another moment, you kind of hear like another, and more of it falls out. Before you actually start to see what looks like a claw kind of starting to come out a little bit, not hurriedly, almost lazily. And
Is it?
it doesn't seem to have a sense of urgency. It seems to be doing this very slowly and meticulously. As you see, like what looks like almost like a horn and a claw start breaking through the edges of the rock as it starts to continue to melt. And you can actually see like each grip of the claw on the stone face actually starts to produce a little bit of steam. And yeah.
Stop spraying it with water.
Yeah. You can see as it gets sprayed with water a little bit, it doesn't really pay any heed. You can tell it's probably used to accidentally finding water, maybe just from the way it's tunneling right now. As it starts to break through fully, you see this long horn on top of what looks like a fire molten crab. As it kind of scuttles, it sits there for a moment, kind of pecking at what looks like ore and different rock pieces. It starts chewing and gnashing, and then kind of like drops hot lava rocks on the floor. A few kind of pop and explode as you see the superheated material kind of just sit there underneath and continue to heat up. And for a brief moment, as you pass by, it kind of ganders at you, and as it's still picking, almost like instinctually, like what you would see a crab picking at a carcass, you just see red hot magma bubbles building up on its face, like attempting to be threatening, as it just kind of stares, eating its metal ore.
You guys probably shouldn't stand there.
Yeah, well, let's just hurry by. If it's trying to be threatening, it means it doesn't want to fight.
Alright, I guess Black won't do anything then.
Are you going to physically move yourself? Because that's what we're asking you to do.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, for a brief moment, it's not only Paracelsus' miner's light, as the crab kind of, you see this half-cocked obsidian eye sitting very awkwardly at the side, with the embers glowing, and that's the only two lights. As it starts getting into the distance, you could start hearing more cracks happening as you see the claws like start digging into the oars again. At the same time, you start seeing a little bit of lava flow start flowing down slowly to the one side of the wall towards your direction, but nothing in an alarming rate. It seems very slow, that maybe it was at the top of a cresting lava pool, probably of where this creature came out from, or maybe even possibly just the creature itself made a molten pool of magma just from the materials it was eating. It's unknown. So,
All right. Well, I guess there's something new every day for us.
Mm-hmm.
as you continue down, you start realizing you start getting more to the natural caverns now. You finally left the worm's tunnel. Start finding more open cavernous areas. Some that coast around different ledges and ridges going through. For a brief moment, when you're passing by one of the chasms on the rock face of the ledge, you hear what sounds to be massive leathery wings flapping, and almost as if a bat was massive in size, it's kind of screeching as it goes by a little. It gets very, very close before finally passing and descending even deeper.
That's not good.
For those of you who have dark vision and were able to see out, you managed to catch a glimpse of that.
Wow, I hate this place already.
Damn.
Nope.
From the looks of it, it has almost like a humanoid body, but still maintains the shape of almost like a bat-like figure.
Oh god. Why?
I feel like we're close to a volcano or something. All these creatures look fire-related.
So, continuing downward on your journey through the Underdark, you start realizing that now that it's in the more natural area, the different crossroads that you saw, Paracelsus, on your map, there's an interjection of where it looks like the river passes very close to the lava flow in itself. As you look forward, it kind of leads off into a small path, obviously connecting back to the main one that you want to be on. But it seems to be the only interlude that you would have to go through. The other one would probably carry you a lot further around. And there seems to be almost like somebody adorned this archway of mushrooms. Inside, you could see a couple of larger mushrooms, a few other things that seem to be running around, but of very small and mushroom-shaped creatures. It's a little bewildering. Most of them aren't really above 2 feet, and they all seem to be all seem to be collecting what looks like massive strawberries. And then after seeing them kind of run back and forth, you can see that as they kind of go back to their little pockets, they're sitting there, and you just see them kind of like press what looks like their face to the strawberry, and almost looks like what somebody slow chewing would be doing, as pieces of the strawberry kind of disappear as they're kind of like just sitting there watching you through the doorway, occasionally going back and sitting where their spots are.
What are these creatures?
Mushroom people.
Little mushroom creatures. Let me go. Here we are.
They're probably the Dark Souls variety.
That guy.
Oh, okay.
It looks very friendly.
I feel like we're playing Stellaris right now.
You have met a new alien race. Keep to yourself, alien scum. Replies Uno.
Xeno Scum.
Care not to get in our way. Influence gained 40.
So
Do you wish to hear about the greater good?
it listens intently while chewing a strawberry. You can see a lot of these creatures are just sitting there chewing on strawberries the entirety of the time.
Really big strawberries?
Yep.
Or are they that small?
The creatures themselves are about 2 feet, and the strawberries are about 1 foot.
Oh, wow.
They have a very strange green shiny skin with almost a bioluminescent glow on the inside of the fruit.
Interesting. I wonder how close we are. Does your map show the actual city? Or is it a city we're looking for?
We received the description that it's pits, unless you told me it's a city. I mean, I can show you on the map where we are and where we're going to.
So, as you kind of hold up this slate and you show the distance between, you can tell there's a fair amount of walking still left to do, and obviously a good stretch of it is mix and mashed caverns that have all been crossed and clashed from what looks like a riverbed and a lava flow constantly having a battle and reforming and reconnecting and hiding, and the new tunnels being made as well from the different worms and the fissures being made. But there is one area that, from where your destination is set, that looks to be more carved out, more refined, also much more of a creation than a tunnel system, as well as a myriad of what looks like to be almost sizable craters in the entirety of the cavern itself.
We may want to avoid the one that looks artificially created.
Unless that's our destination.
It's true.
Is it?
You'd have to continue following the arrow, but it looks like that might be your destination. They created and carved.
Alright.
It makes sense that they'd live in something like that.
I thought what we were going to is we were going to go find Fletch, who was going to take us somewhere else.
I honestly can't remember. It's been so long.
That's what I definitely remember, is that we were going down here to get Fletch, who was going to take us
Yes,
somewhere
we were
else where the
trying
scythe
to
was.
touch Fletch.
Yes, you are trying to retrieve Fletch.
Okay.
So, would you want to take the path around, or would you go through the Mushroom Land?
Let's go through Mushroom Land, honestly. These guys are
Alright,
pretty
everybody vote now on your phones. To the right is Mushroom Land, to the left is Pussy Path.
Which way is faster?
Mushroom Land.
Then yeah.
Alright, we have an
Mushroom
overwhelming vote now
Land.
on your phones for Mushroom Land.
Alright.
Oh, can I
Oh
give
yeah, we're
this?
going to
Can I
Mushroom
give,
Land.
can I give this mushroom a pet? Can I pet the mushroom? Black will pet the mushroom with a battle
You're-
fist.
You're gonna stroke his mushroom tip.
Just the tip.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just the tip. No, I will give the mushroom pets.
It just kind of looks at you quizzically as little dust clouds kind of fall from it. And it just continues, with really big eyes staring up at you, slow chewing its strawberry. It doesn't seem really bothered at all.
It's
Too
cute.
Josh. It's too cute.
It's
Except
fucking cute.
the spores might be dangerous to us, but it's still cute.
As you're passing through, obviously it looks a little filled with in spore clouds, but the most you feel is that you're almost like you're moving slow motion for a little bit before you finally shake it off. You could tell that maybe it's a defense mechanism for any threatening creature that might charge in to slow them down so the little ones can get away. Or it may just have grown naturally like that, or it could be the spores themselves from those little mushroom creatures that are running around. But other than that, it just seems to slow you down for probably what seems like a good maybe 2 or 3 minutes before you finally get used to breathing them in. And Paracelsus, you don't slow down at all. You actually see everyone else is like almost like watching everyone on muscle relaxant as they move slow for a brief time and then start picking up speed again as they readjust.
Y'all should have brought some breathing masks. Which are an actual item you can buy for like a gold.
Yeah, they're fantastic. The only other real myconid creature you see is this much taller, probably around 6 feet creature, multi-legged. It's very bewildering looking, and it seems to be conjuring all sorts of kind of magic and control over the nature of this area. And it looks like its only intent is to grow around and keep growing more food for these little mushrooms. As you see one mushroom run up and take one and run away and then start munching on the large strawberry again, it casually and very slowly in lazy fashion walks over to the now empty strawberry plant and starts growing it again as the new mushrooms also start filling the other area. And you see the occasional like larger bloom of a mushroom kind of fill in what looked like it was on the door archway. Kind of can easily assume that he probably set up a lot of the mushrooms and spores to help the little ones maybe survive down here, and this is like his little safe haven for the myconoid people in this little patch.
Yeah, that or as people eat the mushrooms.
That too.
And just none of these creatures seem to be trying to
Bothered
stop
by
us or bothered by us.
No.
I mean, I do have a light on. If they're bothered by the light, I'll turn it down to low light. But
You just see like they kind of flinch a little bit at the light, but they don't really pay much mind. Like you could tell that it looks like they were about to run away for a moment, almost like rabbit runs in fear. But then after they just kind of relax, seeing how you don't have a really threatening demeanor, and they just kind of carry about their way. If one's walking on a path and you're kind of in that way, they kind of just like pass by just very close to try and maintain the path that they were on.
so like ants.
Mm-hmm.
I have an
interesting.
urge to turn on my death aura as we walk the tunnels.
Oh my god. That would be great. Just passing by peacefully, suddenly strawberries die, little fucking mushroom caps just
Don't make Scarab Man angry.
Oh, Scarab Manning. So
Does Scarab Man even notice us?
he definitely acknowledges you. He looks directly at you as you pass by. Obviously, just watches for a minute, sees that you're not really doing anything. You're just walking through, and seeing how you're not even really threatening the little ones, just even bother with you, and just continues growing stuff.
Huh. What a calm person.
It's almost like just passing by someone in the city is just like completely calm. It's almost bewildering to see a creature like this just not doing anything at all. No breathing.
With the women and children too.
God damn it.
So, you quickly make your way through the mushroom patch. Other than just the few swarms, you can see one kind of like follows black a little to the edge of the archway of the door where the mushrooms are, and it's there almost done with his strawberry. It seems like he was probably tailing all of you for a little bit before it just kind of sits there and watches you kind of slowly disappear into the black of the tunnels. And
Josh, I will say you're really good at making cute creatures.
I don't know how I do it. It just happens.
Remember the spirits too,
That too.
and then peeps.
Yep.
It's like you're a master at it.
I got that plus 18 charm. Just can't resist. Fucking
Girl,
So
you
I-
can't resist my dragon.
1 second.
oh,
Ah,
static has consumed him. No.
Peeps, turn off your modem.
he's trying to download pictures of like gold coins.
Rare and ancient gold coins. They're well seasoned. So, continuing on.
Josh, I sent you the list of things that I purchased.
Thank you.
Just vis-a-vis.
Okie doke.
If there's any problems, just let me know.
I don't like it.
Those are all good.
Okay, cool. Radical.
Alright, so continuing on deeper, you could kind of see this is definitely a more peaceful area. You assume it's probably the myconoids that you just passed by, maybe, or maybe
Myconoids.
maybe it's the area in itself, or maybe there's a group of adventurers who passed by and now it's just in a much more relaxed area compared to the tunnels and the mass ravine that you had passed by before. Out of all the creatures, though, that are not too far from the mushroom archway door, you just see the occasional lizard and one that kind of just skitters by. You see massive bulging orange eyes with a long frill at the bottom. Just kind of stares at Peeps almost quizzically, like it's another one of him. As well as a what looks like a ferret that got into a nest of the lizard eggs, because the other lizards are kind of screeching at it now. As you see it kind of picking up yolks and splashing into it and eating it very quickly. Just a small, what looks like a mixture of a ferret and an armadillo. As it just kind of snatches away its nice little prize. As the lizards kind of chase it, trying to get the last eggs away from its clutches.
I'm just watching life as it happens.
Yeah, we're on a wildlife safari right now, except for the wildlife's probably big enough to consume us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Isn't that what most wildlife safaris are like?
No,
We
they usually
go out
can't
and see,
swallow you and your whole adventuring party whole all at once.
yeah, there's
I
no
counted with
safety
hippos or
rails in
rhinos.
here.
Hippos
We're
or
also around
rhinos
a
could do
nice
that.
jeep with, closed doors.
So, after a good while, you look down in the tunnel. You kind of see a few things skitter on by. All small in nature in this area. It's very bewildering considering you've passed by very large creatures until now. And one creature, it looks very, very strange, almost like a writhing mass as it kind of floats into view. As you kind of just stare at it, it slowly turns towards your direction. And it's just almost bewildering, like it's just trying to study you for a moment.
Can I try to figure out what it is?
Yep.
I'd like to join in this endeavor.
Roll me Dungeoneering.
Engineers are our specialty.
Ugh.
Alright, so
Well,
Well, you two, the interesting ones.
I think they've got this.
So, as you're kind of looking at it, you realize what this is. This is almost a all twisted version of a beholder, in which it's just a squeege, which sounds very strange in itself, but you know that people usually use these as almost like pack animals. Just used for constantly hunting and sniffing things out. And the fact that it's so far down in these tunnels, and especially with so many small creatures, it's very strange why it could be here. It seems to be just staring in your direction.
Well, I'll tell the others what I remember about this creature.
You would, you also would know that it, though in a very strange fashion, usually fights with psychic prowess, strangely enough.
So it's a pack animal that's great at sniffing things and also fights with psychic prowess.
Paracelsus,
So-
it might respond to your telepathic speaking.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll put on the circlet and
Let me
I'll instant message it.
let me bring out the picture real quick for you.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, is it that
Oh.
tiny? I was imagining something bigger.
But it's fairly good sized. It's about 3 feet in size.
I was thinking like beholder sized.
This is like mini beholder.
If it was beholder size, I think we'd be trying to kill it right now.
Yeah.
I'm just shit
We'd
myself.
be
I
like,
wouldn't even
whoa,
try
whoa,
anything.
hold up.
Maybe let's not.
Just maybe ask it what it's doing here, or if it serves something. I don't know.
Let's maybe just say hello. Let's not start the interrogatories.
I mean, hey, Paracelsus always starts things with a good evening.
So as you kind of just send that one simple message telepathically, it almost catches you off guard. As that rings out through the entirety of the caverns. As
That was creepy.
What's going on now?
Did I make it angry?
you hear what sounds like claws skittering and rushing in your direction, as what looks like small rat people kind of run out into the cave.
It's the Royal Rat
Dra-
Vanguard.
Draw your weapons. We appear to have angered the Yin Yang twins.
That's great.
It's the Royal Rat Authority.
All rats.
So
Alright.
all rats. So as they come running and skittering out, the first rats to come out are extremely hunched back with humongous teeth that look way too large for their mouth.
They look goofy as fuck.
Very, very deformed. As they are all staring at you hungrily, they kind of march up to the side of the little screamer. As the two that look much more intelligible, one with a bow and the other with a pair of swords on its back, looks down the tunnel like, "You! Give us food or we eat you!"
You know, surprisingly enough, I did actually buy food in case this happened.
No.
I'll just telepathically message them. Alright, yeah, sure. I'll take out 5 things of journey bread and place them down in front of me.
They, for a brief moment, they kind of like look at each other like, "Is that
That
easy?"
actually worked. It's like they weren't expecting it to work. But it did.
Go on, take it. We're in a hurry.
you could see one of them kind of like points to the more thick and hunchback rat at the front. You're like, go, take. Quickly runs up, kind of just scoops all the journey breads, and then just starts hobbling over. They all look very, very surprised and bewildered at this. Like, hey, don't forget it. And then they all start running off into the tunnels again. As they kind of skitter off, you can see that they are all in a hurry to split the bread and quickly eat every single bite of it. At the same time, the one writhing mass of tentacles and eyes You can see it's just kind of still sitting there looking in your direction before you finally hear just like a... And it immediately kind of starts turning and following in the direction of where the rats had left.
That was different.
Weak-minded creatures. I'm glad we were able to appease them so we didn't have to slaughter them.
Well, some things really just want food down here, and I can't blame them. Doesn't seem like it could grow any good hay down here. Or apples.
Hey, let's not be hasty. They might have thriving agriculture.
Those mushroom fellas seem to have some. What?
So, as you continue on your way, unimpeded by the ratmen quickly making haste in very good time, things are very quiet for a good portion of the time before you finally hear what sounds like wet slaps hitting stone. And for those of you who turn around, you could see much closer to Black, seeing how she's a little bit further in the back. This weird tendril-like creature kind of like hunched against the wall, like trying to be sneaky, but obviously the loud slaps of each of its tentacles are not helping it, as it's kind of like looking to try and pick someone off.
Can Black respond, seeing as she's probably the one who spots it first?
They're trying to pick us off.
Josh?
Yeah.
She takes the laser pistol she bought, and she sort of points it in the general direction.
Right now.
And she uses the helmet she bought, the Helm of Languages, and she'll try and speak with it. Don't try it.
It kind of freezes, and you can tell there's enough sentience that it actually understood, which is very disconcerting, considering it's not humanoid in any shape or form. Before it kind of slinks into the rock face and just kind of hugs there and watches you all walk off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You come back next week. Try again.
So, aside from that's true.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that at some point, but
What's this now?
See, I'd written it onto my character sheet, but then I didn't bring my sheet with me. So
I think it might
I
actually be
lost
good
all
for
the
scaring
notes
off
I'd written on it.
creatures.
Oh my god.
Well, anyways, let's continue. We should try to get here as fast as possible because we need to bring about the proposed end of the world, or at least a raising of the current power structure.
So, hurrying forward, you start getting towards one of the larger sections of the tunnels again. Obviously on the main path. You can tell. You can tell it's looks pretty straightforward for a good while. As you're going along, everything seems pretty average for a normal cave. You start seeing stalactites and stalagmites again. As you're going along, it's very calm, it's quiet, it's almost very strange seeing how you've been greeted almost at every turn now that you're so far down in the Underdark and there's a myriad of estranged nature about you. So, after a good amount of time on walking this straight about path, you start to feel small rumbles underneath all the rock face, as well as you start seeing some of the stalagmites don't really have more of a stone look to them. They seem to have more of a pointed tooth, as you see what looks like different bodies and fangs and such kind of spread along. Some that look like they've been crushed somehow and then kind of picked clean or pinned under something, and then picked clean again, picked clean that in that fashion because they couldn't get free.
So it looks like we're walking towards a giant worm mouth.
A little bit, but there's nothing really on top. The top of the cave is actually completely smooth. It looks like creatures have been kind of pinned by rockfall and shifting earth here.
It's weird.
As you keep going down this path, you can see that the smooth stone had gone to more of a gravelly, broken surface. The stalagmites are all shoved over and broken. There's only a few that you can see that are still sticking up. They look like to be in a row before it finally greets the rock face and kind of like disappears into it. Though in the dark it's fairly difficult to tell. Before you finally get a good ways down again, you finally see what looks like where the gravel kind of ends. But then you see a very large purple hide just underneath your feet, or right near the edge where the gravel ends.
Uh-oh. This can't be good.
I'm gonna stop moving.
Yeah, I will as well.
Black will notice the others hold up and stop moving.
A train stabs.
So, at this point, you all stop moving. You kind of look at the tunnel that continues in the straightaway. All the loose gravel kind of shifts a little bit, and you start to see more of the gravel clear. You're realizing you're standing on top of a giant purple worm. Not the mouth, but the back.
I'm gonna check the chart quickly. How much further do we need to go?
You can tell that this tunnel leads in a straightaway, and it looks like it interconnected, and maybe that the very reason why the whistle had guided you on this path is that maybe because the worm is actually blocking the other path that's shown.
Oh. Well, we're probably on top of whatever is blocking the other entrance. Weird,
Anyone
isn't
got a
it?
shovel?
As you kind of sit there and talk a little bit, you kind of feel the ground shift again as you see some more gravel kind of clears way. It's still pressed tight up against the wall, but you can see it now starting to part, showing more of the back of this worm that you're standing on top of.
Is the cave wall and ceiling high enough up that we could just like anchor onto it and wait for the worm to leave?
I'm gonna.
You could hang on to it, but you could tell it's not moving right now either. And obviously the cave wall is actually cave wall. It's just the ground that you're standing on is purple worm.
Okay.
Oh, if we're already on it, I guess I'll say maybe we should just run.
I suppose we should probably just walk. We probably don't want to make it angry or something. We don't know how
Alright.
big it is.
But if it starts shifting or waking up or whatever, we should run.
Yes, and then we should run.
So, as you can see, most of the gravel is kind of cleared way. I want you to make stealth checks as you kind of pace back a little.
Oh boy. Well, to be fair, I've got a decent stealth.
For those of you who are obviously walking, if you have other plans to do something else.
I
I'll pull out my broom of flying that I've conveniently purchased, and I will hover above the thing so I do not disturb it.
All right.
I got Sabrina the Teenage Cow Witch over here.
I feel like my rolling stealth is almost unnecessary.
That's pretty true. You got like a +20 or something. I can't even remember.
Look, I'll just.
Yeah, good Christ.
Oh.
You're fucking evaporate into the ethereal plane.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What the fuck?
I have a lot of
near
stealth,
perfect
okay?
roll.
So, as Black kind of just slowly takes out the broom she purchased and sets herself upon it to start hovering off of the ground, you all start making your way a little ways back down the tunnel. You could get a good distance. You feel it shuffle just a little bit, kind of like almost just readjusting, not really moving. You can tell you haven't really woken up. I'm just going to need one more stealth check from all of you. As
I will
you're
pay
just
you
about
$20
off. As
to
you,
not do it.
as you're just about off. Oh my
Never mind.
Oh,
god.
damn.
Fucking,
I'm the only one without double-digit bonuses, so I feel like I'm gonna.
Oh,
Oh, hey.
Alright, so you all finally
Amazing.
get back to solid stone where the rock face isn't broken. And you can see there's another path around. It would probably take a good amount of time, or you could maybe do something with the worm if you want. At the same time, you also now have someone who doesn't have to touch the floor.
Wait,
I'll
so
just-
what are our options, Josh?
The worm is blocking the fastest route, or we can go around. We can basically try to get the worm to fuck off.
Did anyone bring like any worm repellent? I think that's an item.
I'm legitimately pretty sure it actually is an item, but I don't think even in my infinite wisdom, I did not buy a worm repellent.
It may be faster to kill this thing.
Well, do we have anything that can kill a giant worm?
Yes,
Us.
our weapons and magic.
Alright. Well, I mean,
Well,
I'm
let
not
me
against-
check the map. About how much further does the other way around look? Because, I mean, pointlessly attacking a giant worm seems kind of stupid. Actually, where is the gap? Because, I mean, I could just Hag's doorknob.
You could tell the gap wasn't much further from where you were. If you were to do it, you probably just need to make one stealth check to get over just above it, and then Hag's doorknob to open it up.
I'll pull a Hag's doorknob out of my bag. If we want to sneak back onto the worm, we can just open up a gateway and just go that way.
Sure, we
Okay.
can try that.
I guess I'll dismount.
I mean, you can still float over to it.
I suppose, yeah.
You could literally fly right through it.
Can't that broom carry two people, so you could carry also low stealth check McYuno?
Let me see, because I believe it's my weight in my carry weight. My carry weight, how heavy is you? You know, how heavy are you?
I'm not sure. I have really heavy armor.
Yeah. I think this is
Yeah,
like
I
the
don't-
heaviest thing about
My
her.
carry weight is, at maximum, is 550
Oh, you carry it.
pound.
That's your max?
Yeah, my max is 550 carry weight. I mean, the broom can carry me and my max capacity, I believe. So,
Me and my equipment's like 250-ish.
so you're only breaking my heavy. So I guess you can mount my broom, the flying, with me. Do you
Sure.
want front seat or back seat or?
I can
I'll
show
probably
you.
be on the back, sit inside saddle.
Cool. So I'll fly gently over and pick up Lich Uno.
Alright.
We are now both flying on my broom.
Yeah.
Riding
Everybody
into
stealth
Lich-
back onto the worm.
Riding on the Lich seat. Oh, yeah.
Well, everybody that wants to take this route, stealth back onto the worm.
If you can't find something to hold on to, just hold my hips.
Mm.
Suta.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
Alright, so Paracelsus says you go over and you can feel like a small shuffle, but nothing really alarming. You can
Hang on,
tell
shut
you're
up.
a little close, but it doesn't seem to have really moved position too much.
Stealth back onto the one.
I'm glad I bought extra hags doorknobs.
Are they only one use?
They're consumable.
Hmm.
But goddamn, are they useful?
I mean, technically one use. They like last for how long?
An encounter's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Out of
They're just
character,
not removable.
I've always wanted to kill a purple worm, but maybe today is not that day.
What do you mean a purple worm? Is there something specific about this kind of
Well,
worm?
it's a very famous like
Yeah, I'll just give
creature
you another one
in
anyway.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
I legit have never actually heard of it.
It's probably one of my favorites.
Outside of the mimic and the beholder and the titular dragon or the tarisk, I've never heard of a purple worm.
Purple worms are infamous from like Tomb of Horrors and other stuff for like insta-killing people by swallowing them whole.
Oh, that's probably why we don't want to fight it though. Like being
All right,
insta-killed
everybody,
by
come on,
being
stealth
eaten.
back onto the worm. It's doing it. Pseudo.
Sutower.
Oh, we're stealthing back onto the
God.
goddamn worm.
Fucking Rozzy with the 2 almost crits.
So you quickly go over. Paracelsus, you slap down the doorknob, opens up, kind of drops down into another tunnel below. You could see it was slanted, and the worm's massive girth was blocking the way. It looked like it freshly chewed a path over the tunnel that you were headed to.
Alright, I bonsai slide in.
You slide in, you go right over the stone, just kind of clack down. The worm's so massive, even though it can easily sense that, it just doesn't really seem to pay any heed to you landing beside it.
I suppose since we're the larger of the 2, I will transport / ferry Yuno and myself through the door on a broom.
You gracefully glide down through the open doorway now. You can see it's leading very quickly down into what looks like a much larger area. Pseudo kind of.
This will be helpful.
You can easily glide your way in. Pseudo, you literally just fly down in fancy style, and you just gracefully tiptoe down like nothing's even happening, and don't even make a single noise as you land.
Well, I'll hop off. That was easy.
At this point from the tunnel, you could see this worm is close to the actual size of the tunnel that you were just traveling. You could see that it's probably a good 65 feet thick from top to bottom of what you could see in the tunnel before you.
Jesus Christ.
What? What's
What
this
is?
now?
The purple worm
Oh, 65 feet long?
that's blocking the doorway.
No, that's 65 feet thick.
Yeah,
Oh,
and one
God.
segment, and that's not even the face. So,
But we didn't see the face.
yeah.
That's...
The most you could easily presume from something that size is that it doesn't care to eat small target game.
Unless
think it
the
would
small
only-
targets are trying to kill it.
Reap it from the inside.
Black will sort of look back at Yuno. I think we're pretty glad we didn't kill this one. She'll look very, nervous.
Maybe on our way back we can try.
Yeah, I haven't officially told anybody in the party that I have a escape plan. I want it to be a surprise.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, continuing forth, you start seeing more tunnelways that seem to be with aqueducts, almost like they're channeling some parts of the river to flow through different areas of the tunnels. Small little divots that have been carved out into the tunnelways themselves. As you can tell, you're now approaching the much larger area that it looks like had been carved out. When you finally arrive, you could see on the entirety of this area in the large cavern. Oh, peeps, please.
Peeps is downloading Super Mario Brothers.
He's got a really bad connection right now. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Whenever I try and mute my microphone with like the actual mute function on it, instead of hitting Discord's mute, it just does this.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'll just mute my mic regularly. Be right back.
Alright.
There we go.
Alright, so looking at the entirety of this area, you can see there's remnants of what looked like war, and just massive skeletal remains of clearly what was Oni. Each of these darkening pits that seem to engulf the entirety of light in itself all seem to have this strange, eerie wail about them as you go by them. It feels like almost as if you were to fall in, you'd be swallowed by black tar. In the distance, you could see what looks like a single man with a few other compatriots slowly circling this one pit.
I really hope that's Fletch. I don't want to fight anything in here. Looking at the map, does it look like we're close?
It looks like you're just about on top of your destination.
Alright. I say aloud, I'm pretty sure that's Fletch.
And
Or an expert Fletch impersonator. Take your pick.
it's the best impersonator you've ever seen. So, the small group of people that you could see circling this pit and softly chanting, there's only one sizable looking creature, clearly Oni in heightened size and muscle mass from what you can tell, as well as a very, very strange other view of one who looks almost shamanistic and savage, the other who looks to be half centipede, and another who looks not entirely of this world. The last person you could see is in a full-length black cloak with belts at his side and claws kind of slowly etching over the stone as the runes around this pit start to glow, and you could tell this ritual's being concentrated and casted.
Can I discern the ritual? Oh, it's Fletch. Fletch, your new friends.
Well, hey, what's that top right chick?
The centipede woman from the insects.
That ain't too bad. I would do. I mean, look at that. She's already in the position. Just look at that. Get in there.
Oh, okay. You know, I mean,
Imagine how many times she could hug you at the same time.
Exactly.
That would hurt.
Think of the hug potential.
No.
Maybe if you're a bitch.
My fucking god, we're not going full Mantis girl here, please. Please.
I'm gonna hold her hand so tightly.
Your first was a mistake, Josh. It's having a monster girl.
Oh shit, and look at that! Who's this?
That is the more savage and shamanistic one who is almost strangely dancing around the entirety, chanting while waving her totem around.
I'm not surprised she's gravitating in a circle. Look at those 2 full moons.
Oh my god. The other one...
I'll proceed to off myself.
The other one seems to be swinging what looks like almost like an incense. Her skin's very, very pale. Very ornate, ornamental clothing as she starts to continue low walking and chanting around the entirety of the circle in the pit itself, along with the Oni with a huge crescent of metal on his back and the metal gauntlets covering him in what seems very, very religious and ritualistic bands and covers, as he seems to be holding his hands down in the circle. His eyes are alight with arcane magics as he's continuing to focus magic into this circle itself. This pit itself seems to be swirling with a extremely powerful dark magic as you approach and you look in. As you get closer to Fletch, you could literally see swirling souls of all different races and creatures, right, varying from Minkaya to the insect people like the girl you see, to Oni, to even just some of the wild creatures of the Underdark here. It almost seems like they're creating a massive well in a vacuum all at once of immense proportion to try and concentrate as many souls as they can.
I'm gonna walk up to Fletch if I can.
Mm-hmm. As he...
Sorry, I'll dismount my broom so she can get off.
So, as he stands up and he turns around, almost knowingly it was you, he has this massive grin upon his face, just ear to ear, almost in a creepy fashion.
Yeah.
You're right on time, you know.
I approach him and I put my hand, open hand, across his face and push him out of my way as I stare at the pit of souls and say, "It's beautiful." I was mostly doing that to joke around, not actually doing it. But I do say it's beautiful to Fletch.
But even if you did, he'd still have the same reaction.
Yeah, he'd still same reaction, I'm sure.
It's in preparation for when you retrieve your lord's weapon.
I can't wait. This ritual is exceeding even my wildest dreams.
I guess we all have to roll willpower to avoid an insanity point.
First, you need to check versus terror.
It's good to see you, Fletch.
As you as well, you know. And as well to know the box is complete.
Yes, all those days and months ago, you put your trust in me. You saw something, and you were correct. I've completed your holy mission.
And now we can bring it to the final crescendo. If you would please. And he holds out his hand.
I hand him the box.
The illusion disappears. We're on a scene of a Friday Night Live.
Oh shit!
Friday Night Live.
Thank God you're here.
That black pit of souls, it was really just the canned laughter.
Oh God, that's horrifying to think of. Imagine being trapped forever, being forced to laugh at shitty sitcoms for like the rest of infinity.
I thought that was just life.
Ugh.
But he turns. You can see all the symbols on the box are shifting back and forth, forming different labyrinths and different shapes. You can see this one smaller circle he drew in front of the pit itself. as he slowly shifts the box into what looks like to be more of a prism shape, and then shifts it again to where it's almost like a sharp shard dagger shape, and slowly sinks it into the ground in the middle of the circle. You can see the runes around the entirety on the floor start to illuminate as the box itself starts shifting again. You can see all the myriad of symbols start to change and twist. Some that actually show visages of demons and creatures, others of previous people you've even seen before sending them into the box, before their souls are pushed out and immediately join the well before them. At this point, you start to see the larger circle illuminate, as well as the eyes of all the other chanters start to illuminate, and their voices echo in tandem. You can see just above on the cavern roof what looks like the night sky starting to open up above, almost like something was torn open, before briefly seeing what looks like a chain made of obsidian and a mixture of gems fall down. It looks very close to that of a spike chain before it splashes down into this wealth of souls, as well as what looks like a massive gargantuan-sized shield and rod falls down, made of dark lacquered ebony wood, and on the other side what seems to be almost like ivory plating on the front. The rod itself seems to be almost a mixture of dark ebony wood as well, with what looks like a small star with a embedded diamond to give it more luminescence. After which, the demon that you saw in the astral plane, you see literally all four of his hands reach down and start to touch on the edges of this circle. And you see the souls twist and writhe before you hear all the cries of the damned start being shaped and twisted. And you can see some are forming and filling into the gemstones on the chain. Others are being sucked and formed onto the entirety of the rod itself. Others are being embedded into the shield and giving it new life and arcane magics. All twisting to one giant cacophonous scream. Before finally the ritual has one loud thunderous clap, and you can see the four hands of the Astral Lord Gemini reaches down and grabs onto his newly formed weapons, adorned with the souls and pieces, with plenty left over in this soul forge, and pulls forth this massive, beautiful night sky spectral chain, a immaculate, almost crescent moon-like bladed sickle made entirely of souls and magic, with the rod at its base, and a beautiful ivory shield that shines so bright it would equate to a sun, before it finally dims in the magic itself, so that all can see and gaze upon the glory of it, before finally being pulled into the astral realm itself. At this point, you can see the astral gate remains open, and what looks like the wealth and army of all those who'd been sent in, and all the extras, all the Oni, all the creatures that had been given unto the box, are being ready and prepared, with other myriad of creatures that you hadn't seen before, some twisted and some made. Gadrin standing beside them.
Oh no.
Yes.
Good.
All he wanted was a drink.
He just wanted to retire.
At this point, you could see Fletch steps over the small circle where the puzzle box is, and arms outreach, slowly spreads out his claws and slowly brings them in before finally his palms fully cupped together, and he steps through almost like he would be spearheading a doorway with his fingertips, and then pushes open this massive rift gate. And just beyond, you could see what looks like a temple of Nerul. And many panicked and rushing cloister priests, all running back and forth, clearly unsure of what's going on. And at that point, you see what looks like almost like a bone staff sitting on top of an altar as they're all huddled around. You see Fletch extend his hand out and wave for you, you know. You need
I
the Lord's
will.
weapon.
Yeah, I'll step forward and grab his hand and say, "Your Lord does great work. I shall return shortly to finish what we started."
He gives you a bow and lets you step forth. As you go through the rift, you can see on the other side, it just looks like astral stars from what they were able to see. All the secret worshippers in this darkened temple with very just low light glow orbs and respect. The smell of decay and death fills the air. This is a huge testament to Nerul himself. Unaware of where you are, though, you see this one long bone-like staff sitting aloft just over an altar. As you can hear the many whispers of all the other cloisters and priests staring at you in disbelief. You can hear the subtle whispers underneath their breath of, "She's the one. It's been whispering our name." As they all part way on top of all this black obsidian stone, skulls ordained everywhere, and letting you access to the entirety of the altar itself.
I start slowly walking forward, and at each priest I pass, I just say, "For the Legion of the Grey," and, kind of bless them as I pass by.
Each one, they immediately take a knee, bowing to you. "For the Legion, our father will return." As they
Her eyes never leave the sight of the staff.
Alright. So, in each succession passing these priests, you finally step up as what looks like shadow has just been coalesced around this, finally clears to show a fused bone staff with an open gap of where looks like there should be the head of a blade. Sits there eagerly awaiting. You can hear all the whispers from this weapon. "I've been waiting for you. I'll be remaking the master and reborn to reclaim the mantle and the throne."
The time is almost at hand. And I'll reach out for it.
As you do, as you just about to grab it, floats in the rest of the way into your hand, greeting your grip in a welcoming fashion. As you do so, you feel the immense power coursing through your body as the blade appears red and luminescent. You can hear the wail of souls that had been damned into the very scythe itself that had shown unfavorably to Nerul, and he made better use of them. And you now hold the scythe of Nerul in your hands.
Nice. It's missing the blade part, right? Or is it?
It coalesced from.
Oh my god.
Red
Oh,
That
when
was
I
awful. Sorry about that, guys.
It coalesced into a red energy blade. For the
Oh,
damn
sick.
souls.
I just grab it and say, I will use Life Cutter by your will, Nerol. I will be worthy of your gifts. And I turn and look back. Is the portal still there?
Mm-hmm. Still ready and waiting.
All right. I start slowly walking towards the portal.
Everyone whispers in amazement. It's true. He'll be returning soon. We must prepare. You could see some that you've already passed by quickly rushing off to make preparations for the true God of Death's return. And some almost overjoyous at the very prospect of this about to happen. So, as you step through, you can see the immense grin of Fletch, almost even wider than before, ecstatic at this very moment. He looks upon you and the scythe itself. Now, the only difficulty that we need, which I must ask you to retrieve once I open the door, is an item that will grant us permission to pull the raven here to us. Once we do, then we'll be able to rip the mantle from her very corpse and give it on to thee.
I should have realized that she would be there to stop us and would not let us complete this plan. It makes sense that we'll have to deal with her.
Black will sort of look around. If I'm hearing this right, we're gonna go and find an item in some mystical cave down underneath the core of near the core of the earth to try and fight a god so that another god can take her place. You know, as much as I like that idea, I think I'm just gonna stand over here for a little bit. Black will slowly back towards the wall.
I mean, if you want your wish, you should probably participate.
I'd have some ethical conundrums about killing gods.
I wouldn't worry. And besides, you don't even have to worry about it if you get your wish. Don't you wish to become a warforged like your friend?
Actually, that's a side project. To be given it would just be to take away all the, progress and invention. I reckon I got a good idea in my head. And she'll sort of chuckle.
It's
She
all
seems
right.
to
you-
like tap a scroll in her side pouch.
If you can't go along with it, it's okay. They expect one of us in the wreckage. I put my hand on her shoulder. I'm sorry.
This is the tragedy of Black Steelhoof the Wise.
You need to do an autistic screech and attack, though.
Oh no, that'll be my apprentice.
Oh,
This
sorry.
is so cute. No, it's fine. No, I understand that y'all want your god back in the saddle, so to speak. I just don't think we're ready to take on another god at this point.
Well,
That's mostly what the scythe is for.
yes. This is the scythe of a god. This is Life Cutter. And, looking upon it, the red veins in this ebony staff pulsate as if to a heartbeat in encounter time with Yuno's own if she had one. At a whim, she can call forth a scythe-like blade of scarlet force from the tip of the staff.
So are you sure you don't want to help?
Well, I went with you this far. It'd be a shame and disloyal to stop now.
Plus also
I
Fletch might
recognize-
stab you.
I don't think that friendly man there would stab me. I just got that kind of face. And she'll give a grin. She's
Well.
very oblivious to who Fletch is. She
Quiet.
doesn't even seem to mind.
Well, you are getting a lot from this. You're getting a wish. And the fact of the matter is, you've seen too much. So, you will be helping us.
I suppose. Do you want me to give you my broom, or...
I don't need your broom right now.
Okay.
Fletch is going to... What was he going to do? Open a portal for us?
Yes.
We've completely lost track. We've lost the plot completely.
Once I open this location, you'll have to
1995 unopened noise range. What's the reminder on this about? eBay, what is the reminder about? Is this ending soon? No? Okay, it's not ending soon. Why do they keep reminding me about it? Oh, there's one left, that's why. Sorry, I'm just mumbling, because I was watching I'm watching a Noise Marine on eBay right now. An old, like, 1995 Noise Marine.
nice.
And I was just thinking to myself, if I had the cash to splash, it'd be here, and I could add it to my army, and everyone would be like, holy shit, that looks cool. But I found something even better that I want now.
Mhm.
Sonic fucking Dreadnought. Have you seen that thing? It's so cool.
Anyway.
Anywho, yes, but no, Black's wish is not to be a Warforged. So you'll get there eventually, but not through a wish.
Alright, sorry about that, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, hey.
Now, once I open the portal to this location, you'll have to move quickly. The object is well guarded by Endure Council. I need you to rip it off the corpse of an angel so that we might have access to the Raven.
This is fucking badass.
I will get you as close as I permissibly can by the powers that be. Just don't take too much time. As he starts to bring his hands together again, you can see the collection of souls and arcane energy bounding into his hands once more. As you can see him concentrate, his eyes actually start to roll back and become completely luminescent as they vanish into the back of his skull. The echoes throughout the cavern are extremely haunting as he reaches forth and what looks like he would be raking someone with his claws, forcibly rips open a tear in reality as you see what seems to be extremely bright light shining forth into this cavern, filling everything. Not a single inch of this area has not been covered by luminescent, pure white light. And for this, you could tell that this is the realm of purity and light, and where angels reside. As he tells you, go quickly. They'll be expecting you.
What exactly are we looking for?
An archangel with 6 wings and full great sword. He will be well guarded inside of the council's building.
Do you need his whole body, or do you just want part of him?
Just his scroll pouch.
Alright. Well, I suppose you should lead the way.
Very well. I can go first.
And hey, you have the super scythe. I feel like you should go first.
Alright, so as you step forth through this light, it almost feels like it's trying to repel you from entering this realm. As you step forth, you just hear this loud shatter of what seems like existence breaking for a moment. As you step forth, you literally see what looks like corruption form around from where the portal is and where you stepped forth from. As the rest of you start to come through, you could see a myriad of different angels flying helms that seem to have Pyrrhus wings filled with light, almost like messengers. Others rushing that seem to be scholars. It's almost as if you stepped into an immense library and everyone's rushing to alert the guard of where you are. Towards the back you could see what looks like a large cloister chamber and almost like council seats of this massive library. And at this point you can hear what sounds like gong bells ringing in what seems of urgency alarm. And you can see one angel who seems to be quickly rushing to try and close these doors. And we're gonna leave off there.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh boy.
I was about to say, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Party wipe.
I
Nah,
was gonna
we'll be
draw my map. And I was just gonna map out the entire area.
Map out heaven.
Or what we perceive to be heaven.
Yeah. The realm of light where Juris councils fucking reside.
awesome.
I think we're gonna be stopped. I have a feeling that this is gonna turn poorly for us.
I mean, you have to consider the level that we're at. The angels are not necessarily stronger than us. They're just celestial beings, like a fire elemental.
It's true.
It doesn't mean that they're like ridiculously strong or just gonna one-shot you. They're basically just elemental creatures of the plane of good/light/law.
I suppose.
Now when you start seeing an angel with fucking like seraphim wings,
I mean,
that's when you
atypically speaking, we should probably run away with things with 6 wings or 6 eyes. Or multiple eyes, or brilliant lights. We should just run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really want us here. I don't think we're supposed to be here.
It's just my favorite part. That it's like, they're like, we're like entering into a library, and that, oh yes, let's get a book out. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, we should
shit.
we should totally pretend that we're just here on like vacation from another realm. It's like, oh yeah,
magnificent bluff check with the undead lich a couple feet behind you.
And the scythe in hand.
If I was still Pandora, I could have made that intimidate / try the stick diplomacy.
I don't think intimidate works when they're already going to be hostile towards you.
Oh no, I would do diplomacy for it. And then I think I also picked out she can use diplomacy for bluff.